So the book Bulletproof or Becoming Bulletproof by Ivy or Evy Poumpouras. Did I say the name right? But anyway, it's hard to say her name. um, is really divided into three, I guess, three parts. One is protection, where she goes through things I thought was bit extreme, or I don't know. Maybe I used to be that way. A little while ago, having plans and all this backup plans to backup plans. But basically, she talks about how to, when you go to a new place or new location, check the police station location, exits. Even when you sit in a restaurant, check for the exits and all that stuff. But the great point she makes is you don't know when the emergency will strike. So you got to be always prepared. Can't depend on somebody else coming to rescue you or figuring out at that point, which is a great point. Being prepared, great point. But, like going to a movie theater and sitting at the ideal location, going to a restaurant looking for the ideal location, moving into a neighborhood, talking to the cops and fire department, everything, letting them know you. All that seemed a bit overboard. But then, she's an expert. So what do I know, right? And then the second and third parts are really about, influence and, knowing yourself, so on and so forth, the normal stuff, or reading people, actually. Sorry, reading people and influencing people, the other two parts. How important it is to read people. How do you read people, their body language, the words they use, whether they're telling the truth, the incongruity or the discrepancies that they might have, what they're speaking versus how they're acting, so on and so forth, which will not only one-on-one, but even if you're talking to like an audience, how do you do that? So that's one of the other things she talks about. And then influence is obviously, how do you influence people to do things, right? Many of the tips I would say have been covered in others, but there are a lot of like subtle tips an investigator type of person would know that are in the book that are totally worth reading. Overall, great book with several samples, really practical examples and practical issues. And then the last part, she goes through all the presidents she's served because she was Secret Service agent in a protection detail. One of the things I really liked about this is, although I don't subscribe to all the president's policies or their party, the way she picks out great attributes in each person, regardless of their party or whatever, is a great example on for anybody reading to have that mindset to pick out the good parts, something to learn from another person always. That's the big thing. One of the big things I liked in the book is about mentorship and how she says you don't have to have a mentor that you pay for or is nearby you. You can just observe people and let them mentor you. You can read books and be the mentorship. You can watch things on TV and that be the mentors. So anyway, great read. Highly recommend reading it, for various reasons, especially the protection part. Not too many places you can see that. So this one probably covers it more than any book I've seen, or I haven't read any book that covers that much. But this one does. The influence and obviously reading people, it's covered here and there, but reading people, she goes a little bit more subtle on nuances that you might not have seen before. So great book, read it.